Hi guys, my name's Bill. In this video, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot a Frigidaire stove that the oven doesn't heat up. Okay, so normally when you press the bake function, set your temperature, and hit start, the oven should start heating up. And you can see by the little red line indicating that the bake element's on, along with the assist element and the fan inside the oven. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, it should get to 350 and be preheated. But what happens if it never heats up? What's the first thing you need to do? The first step in the troubleshooting process is you want to find the double pull breaker that controls the oven. And even if it doesn't look tripped or anything like that, go ahead and turn it off and then turn it back on, and then go test the oven one more time and see if it heats up. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the terminal block on the back of the stove where the power cord hooks up to it. Now it is unplugged from the wall, but what I'm going to show you is if you're only getting 120 volts, so if half the breaker is tripped, the control board will fire up and it will act like it has the correct power even if it doesn't. So right now I'm just going to put 120 volts to the left side of the terminal block, and then we're going to test the stove. Alright, so now that I got my test cord hooked up to the terminal block on the back of the stove, we can go ahead and plug this in. And we can see that the control comes on. Oops. And it's acting like it has the correct power. Now the oven is clearly not going to heat up because we don't have 240 volts going to it. So that's why it's important to turn the breaker off and turn it back on, because it could potentially be tripped. Maybe it's a weak breaker or something like that. So you definitely want to test that first. That's the easiest step. Okay, so now after you reset the breaker and you tested the stove, if the oven still doesn't heat up, now you want to check for voltage at the back of the stove to make sure you are getting 240 volts. You could have a bad breaker or a bad cord or something like that. So the next step is going to be to verify that we have 240 volts. Now it is plugged into the wall at this point, so you want to be careful not to touch anything back here. You want to set your meter to volts AC and test across the two outside terminals here, and you should get 240 volts. And from the center to the outside, you should get 120. And from the center to the other outside, you should get 120. And those are the proper readings. If you don't get the proper readings here, you could have a bad cord or a bad breaker or something from here back, and you'll need to troubleshoot that. I'll put some links in the description for videos on how to test the cord and how to test your breaker. But if you have the proper voltage here, we need to move on to the stove. So while we're in the back of the stove, we verified that we had the correct voltage. Let's go ahead and test the bake element for resistance. Okay, so for this step, you want to go ahead and remove the plug from the wall, because we don't need any voltage back here to test for resistance. And you want to go ahead and remove the orange wire from the bake element and also the yellow wire. You're going to set your meter to ohms. And you want to test across the two terminals and see what kind of resistance you get. And it looks like we're getting about 16 ohms, and this is a good bake element. If you had a reading that looked like this, the bake element would be bad and you would have to replace it. Now if you are getting this reading and you have the correct voltage and the oven won't heat up, then you have a bad control board. Okay guys, so that was a real simple tutorial on how to test a Frigidaire oven when it looks like it should be heating up, but it's not. So if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and do that now. And thanks for watching.